Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's Daf, SOTAH Yud Zayin. We begin at the Mishnah, which is right on top of the Amud. The Kohen goes ahead and proceeds with writing the actual Megillah. Of course, it has to be written by a Kohen. So he proceeds to writing the Megillah, which will be scrubbed out, erased onto that water, into the water, which will be served to the Isha, the SOTAH. Question: Me'eze makom hu kosev? Where does he begin writing? Which psukim? What is the text? What is the nusach of the Megillah? Now, before going further, perhaps it would be very worthwhile to simply open up a chumash in Parshas Nasai, or in the those of us that have the new Gemara. So on the margin here, on the right side, we have the actual printout of those psukim. It's in Bamidbar Perek Hey, Psukim Yutes, Chaf Aleph, and Chaf Beis. So perhaps let's just read through the psukim, the actual psukim, before we proceed, which will help us get a clear picture of what's going on. Okay, so Bamidbar Perek Hey, Pasuk Yutes begins with Vishbia Oisa HaKoyin. The Kohen imposes a shvuah on the Isha. He approaches her and confronts her with this shvuah. Va'amarni proceeds. Va'amar le'isha. Im lo yishachav ish oisach. On a positive note, if you're innocent, you had not been involved with another man, v'im lo yisotis tumatachas ishech, you were not a person who strayed, hinaki, you'll be spared, mimei ha'morim ha'ma'orim ha'ela, you'll be safe and sound. That's Pasuk Yutes. So here it's sort of on a positive note, which the Gemara will call klolos habois machmais bracha. It's like, positive implying to the negative as well. If you did not behave, then you're in trouble. And in fact, the next pasuk proceeds with that as well. The flip side of the previous pasuk. Pasuk Chav, va'at kisot tachas ishech, if you strayed, v'chinit meis, va'itan ish, ba'achash chavtoi, mi'baladei ishech, you were involved with another man. Now we get to Pasuk Chaf Aleph. Once again we have a Shavua. V'yishbia hakohen es ha'isha. B'shvuas ha'ala. So this part of the Pasuk is called Tzivuyim. The Pasuk is imposing on her. He's warning her. And what is the Shvuas ha'ala? The Shvuah relating to the curse, to the punishment. V'amar hakohen la'isha. Kohen tells her. Now begins the part called Allah, the Allah itself, the curse itself, which is certainly meant to be included in the Megillah of the SOTAH. Yiten Hashem oisach la'Allah v'lishvo b'seich amech. Look what's going to happen to you. B'teis Hashem esirechech nefeles v'tzbitnech tzava. Your body will fall apart. And the Allah continues into Pasuk Chaf Beis. Ubo hamayim ha'ma'orim ha'ela b'mei ayech latzbois beten v'lan pil yarech. So this section is called Allah, which certainly is going to be included in the text of the Megillah. And then we have a conclusion, an acknowledgement, a consent. V'amra ha'isha, amen, amen. That's called the Kabbalah. She accepts. She commits herself to the process. Yes, amen, amen. So that's clear. The part called Allah, that we just read, is certainly included in the Megillah. Then we have another section called the Kabbalah, the last few words. V'amra ha'isha, amen, amen. And we also have the Tzivoy. We have the beginning of Pasuk Chaf Aleph, V'yishbia hakohen es ha'isha b'shvuas ha'ala v'amar hakohen la'isha. That's called Tzivoy, relating how he approaches her and presents her with the Allah. Tzivuyim and Kabbalah. So we're going to see that soon in the Gemara. And then we have that previous section, all the way in the beginning. The stick and the carrot. Positive and the implication of negative. If you're innocent, you'll be spared. Otherwise, you're in trouble. That is what the Gemara calls klala haba machmas bracha. So it's really a bracha. It's a positive thing. If you're innocent, you're safe. And on the flip side, we have to add the second part as well. Otherwise, you're in trouble. That's called an indirect klala. Question is whether that's included in the Megillah of SOTAH. We're going to have a three-way machlekes. According to one shita, which is actually Rabbi Yossi, everything goes from beginning to end. According to Rabbi Yehuda, barely anything is in there. Only thing that we include is the Allah itself, the curse. According to Rameir, it's some and some. Okay, let's go back to the Mishnah. So he moves on to writing the Megillah. Where does he begin? He starts from the beginning, Pasuk Yotes, from the word im. Proceeds to Pasuk Chaf, and he skips the tzivui. He leaves that out and skips over to the Allah, which begins in Pasuk Chaf Aleph, into Pasuk Chaf Beis, which concludes the Allah, and stops right there without the last few words called the Kabbalah, the acceptance. He does not write. He omits the words Va'amru ha'isha amin amin. So according to Rabbi Meir Tanakama, you include everything except for the tzivuyim, the part where the kohen is, we're describing the fact that the kohen is presenting it to the isha. V'yishbiya kohen is the isha. B'shvos Allah v'amar kohen the isha. That's all left out. And the last part as well, where the isha accepts this proposal of Amr Isha Amin Amin. Rabbi Yossi Yemer, the whole thing, from beginning to end. Lo yam mafsek. There's no reason to stop from beginning to end. Rabbi Yehuda Yemer, actually, very little is written. Kol atzma, he has to be careful. Only to write Hella, only the actual curse, describing the tragic event, the tragic result. That's it. Of course, he leaves out the last part where the Isha accepts it. What is this machlekes revolving on? What is it depending on? It's all about how to interpret the pasuk, which instructs the kohen how to write. Then we get SOTAH, which reads like this: the kohen is meant to write these alloys in a sefer. Rabbi Meir approaches the pasuk like this: Savar alloys, when it says v'kasav esa alloys, the curses. Well, no two ways about that. Alloys mamash, the actual curses contained in pasuk Chaf Aleph and in pasuk Chaf Beis. The extra hey ha-alloys includes another aspect as well. L'rabbeis klalois habois machmas brachos. That includes pasuk Yotes and pasuk Chaf, which are the klalois which are implied through the brachos. So allois is inclusive, and ha-allois is inclusive as well. The next word, Eila. Eila is usually exclusive. Eila is l'mu'ute klalois sheb'mishnah Torah. You know, when the Torah tells you to present it with all the curses, perhaps you have to go looking around the Torah, Chumash Devarim over there, where all the teichacha, all the curses are written. They're also considered alloys. The pasuk there says, "B'shamayes divrei ha'ala hazois." So perhaps you include the whole Pashas Kisaveh. No, Eila, only these, the ones mentioned here in Pashas Nasi. The extra hey ha'ela, again exclusive. L'mutei tzavois v'kabolis. V'kabolis amen. That's coming to exclude where the kohen. We describe the kohen presenting it to her, v'ishbiya kohen as isha, that's left out, and the last part, v'amar isha amin amin, which she accepted, that's left out as well. So that's where Rameir gets his arrangement. It's pretty much all included, except for the tzavois, which means the words v'ishbiya kohen as isha b'shvos olav v'amar kohen leisha, and the acceptance, v'amar isha amin amin. For Rabbi Yossi, he says like this: Kulu k'dekamras. He includes everything. You know why? Because basically he says, all the drushes that you have presented, all the inclusions, that the alloys mean the actual alloys, ha-alloys means the klala which comes from the brachos. Eila leaves out the ones in Parshas Kisavai. I agree with all that. But I want to include tzavois and kabbalis as well. S. It says because of S. Let's focus on S. L'rabbeis tzavois v'kabbalis. That includes the tzavois. Again, tzavois are the words describing how the kohen presents it to her, v'yishbiya kohen isha, and also the kabbalis describing how the isha accepts it. So basically, everything is included. For Rameir esam le'darish, Rameir does not expound on the S. Okay, so there you go. So we can't include that. For Rabbi Yehuda, how come he ends up with such a limited text? Kulu b'mi'uti dorish lahu. Instead of using the drushes to include, he actually reverses it. It leaves it out. It excludes. Okay, let's go down the line. It says v'kasav es ha'olais ha'ela. So the word olais mamish. Okay, the actual curses in the psukim here. Pasuk, chaf aleph and chaf beis. The letter hey ha'olais. Lemute klalais habois machas brachos. He learns that it's coming to exclude only the olais, but not the klalais that are derived by implication from the positive presentation to the isha. So we leave that out. Ha'olais ha'ela. The word eila is lemute klalais should be Mishnah Torah like the other shitas. And the letter hey is like Rav Meir. Lemute tzavais v'kabais. We leave out the instructions and the acceptance. So basically, he's left with very little. Okay, so let's just recap. We have the pasuk v'kasav es ha'olais ha'ela, which according to Rav Meir works like this. Olais is the actual curses. Ha'olais includes the klolis habois machmas brachos. The positive with the negative implication. And just like olais, includes is a positive reference to include the olais. Olais includes something else as well. The Gemara will get to that in a second. Then we have the next word, eila. Eila is exclusive, to push something out. Which klolis are we not including? The ones in the other parasha Mishnah Torah. And likewise, the hey, the ha'ela, is coming to be a might. Tzavois v'kabalis. The words vishbiach and isha and pasuk chaf aleph, and the kabbalah at the end of pasuk chaf beis. V'amar isha amin amin. According to Rabbi Yossi, everything is included except for the klolis Mishnah Torah, because the S includes tzavois v'kabalis. According to Rabbi Yehuda, pretty much everything is excluded except for the actual alais. The hey of ha'alais is excluding the negative implied by the positive, and ha'ela is all exclusive, lemutik tzavais v'kabalis, and eila lemutik ha'alais v'mishnah Torah. Now in Rav Meir, we find an interesting thing. The hey of ha'alais is the rabbis klolais that are implied by the brachas. The hey of ha'ela is lemutik tzavais v'kabalis. So what is hey coming to do? To include or exclude? Asks the Gemara for Rav Meir. Why this hey is inclusive, or and the other hey is exclusive? Very simple, says the Gemara. Hey the gabe the ribuya, the letter hey with the word alais, ha'alais, where alais is inclusive, the positive reference to the alais that are included in the text. So the hey is also inclusive. Hey the gabe the ribuya is also coming to include, in which case he includes the klolis habois machmas brachos, as opposed to the other hey with the word ha'ela, which is an exclusive term. Ela is exclusive. Hey the gabi the miyuta is also coming to exclude miyuta, which will exclude its avois for kabbalis. Now, we say that according to our mayor, we pretty much include everything, even that first part there where it's sort of a positive reference. Look, if you're innocent, you'll be spared, and which is pretty much an implied warning. According to Rav Meir, what's the point of writing that? This is a well-known shitas Rav Meir when it comes to conditioning, tanaim. He holds you need a double tanai. Well, if you'll do this, I'll give it to you. If you don't do that, I won't. You can't just imply. So what's the point of writing something by implication? Rabbi Tanchum tells us, actually, if you take a close look at the spelling of their pasuk, hinaki ksiv, it says hinaki without a yud. So basically, the pasuk is sort of including a pretty stern warning in the actual positive reference as well. Look, it reads like this: pasuk ites, if you're innocent, hinaki, you'll be spared, you'll be cleansed, you'll be protected. But it says it without a yud. Hey nun. And the hey and the ches come from the same, throat. So it could be like chinaki. You'll be choked. Meaning, if you did something wrong, you'll be choked. Tuma tachas hishech chinaki. So it's not just an implication. It's pretty. It's a pretty strong hint to something really bad. So, yeah, it makes sense that we include it as well. Dorish Rabbi Akiva. If a man and woman to live a proper life and protect their marriage properly, Shechina b'nein, they're zoicha to the presence of Shechina. because there's a yud in the word ish, and there's a hey in the isha. Yud Kei, Shem Hashem, who rests among them. Lo yizach, but if they stray, and they're not deserving of Hashem's presence, eish eichlas, and they'll be devoured by improper desires and fire, which alludes to improper behavior. Because once we delete the yud and the hey, we're left with eish, right? Ish without the yud is eish, and the isha without the hey is eish. Fire and fire, fireworks. Hamaravu the isha, the fire that consumes the isha when she strays, under these circumstances, are adifam the ish. They're quicker in coming and more devouring and more damaging than the man. Haimet sarif. Why? Because by the isha, the hay is after the aleph and shin. So you take away the hay, fire arrives. But by the man, the yud is right in between the two letters, so it's more difficult, so to speak, to turn into fire. Basically, the isha is more likely to stray if things don't work out properly, and it can really be detrimental to herself and to the family in a way which is much more profound than when the man strays. Why is it so that the Torah instructs us to use sand, to use earth in the SOTAH water to send us a message? Zachsa, if she was deserving, if she was really innocent, Yoitze Mimena ben Kavram Avinu, she can be zecha to a great tzaddik as a son like Avram Avinu. Who used this term, Am Ofar Ve'efer, in his expression of humility. So there's a remez, you can be zecha to such a great child. Lo Yizachsa, but if she drinks and turns out that she was really guilty, Tachsa La'afra, she reverts back to dust. Darash Rava. So Rava made a drasha like this. Darash Rava, B'schar Shamar Avram Avinu, V'anech Ofar Ve'efer. Once on the topic of Avram Avinu's expression of humility, I'm like dirt and ashes. Because of that expression of humility, Zachu Bonav L'beis Mitzvahs, his own children, his descendants, Klal Yisrael, acquired two great mitzvahs, which correspond to sand and ashes. Efer para, the ashes of the para duma, which gives us purity and cleansing. Va'afar SOTAH, and the dirt used by the SOTAH, once again to verify her status and to keep the integrity of the Jewish family. Says the Gemara, what happened to the sand used to cover the dam when a bird is slaughtered? So why isn't that included in your drasha? That's also an afar related mitzvah. And says the Gemara, well, it's a bit different there. Hashsam hechsher mitzvah. There is just, it's a mitzvah, but you don't really derive tangible, this worldly benefit, so to speak, because you can have the bird, you can eat it without the kisur adam. Hechsher mitzvah ika hano'alek, you don't have actual, tangible, physical benefit as opposed to the other two mitzvahs mentioned. Efer para. Well, that purifies and cleanses us, allows us to proceed with life, go into the mikdash, etc. And likewise, the SOTAH waters, get things back on track and are retire the family and ensures family is free of mamzerim, etc. So we have tangible benefit in this world. Darash Rava. Rava tells us further, B'schar she'amar Avram Avinu. B'schar that Avram Avinu told the king of Sodom when he offered him the booty, he says, no, I don't want to rely on you, I don't want to take anything that smells of inappropriateness, of dishonesty, even a thread or a shoelace. So because of that, self-control, Zachu Banav L'beis Mitzvahs, his children was able to do the following two mitzvahs, which correspond to a thread and a strap. Chut shel tchelis, the string of the tchelis of the tzitzis, v'rutzur shel tefillin, the strap of tefillin, which provide us with benefit in this world. How? Bishlam rutzur shel tefillin, understand that tefillin gives us that added prominence in the world. Chsiv ro kol ami ha'aretz, kishem Hashem nikra alecha. Even the goyim will recognize your greatness and the fact that Hashem rests upon you, and they'll have fear from you. That's generated by the tefillin which rests upon us. The Shem Hashem which rests upon us are displayed in our tefillin. So that came as a result of Avram Avinu's expression. Ritzur shel tefillin. Elachut shel tchelis. Mahi. How does one directly benefit in this world from the chut shel tchelis? The answer is found in a brisa. The tchelis brings us closer to Hashem. helps us develop our relationship in this world. Why do we use blue wool? Why blue over all colors? Because by association we generate that closeness to Hashem. The blue in the tchelas resembles the blue at sea. Sea reflects the sky. So we go from blue string to bluish waters to bluish sky. And the Rukiya, as we're going to find in a pasuk, resembles Hashem's throne in terms of coloring. Beneath Hashem we found this whiteness of sapphire, which matches the color of the sky. And we find another pasuk which says that this Evan Sapper is the image of the Kisei HaKavod. So the tzitzis takes us to the sea, to the sky, to the Kisei HaKavod, and there we go, thinking and relating to Hashem all the time. Okay, let's summarize. So we have the Megillah, the way it's written by the Kohen, 3 shittas in terms of the scope, how much is written, how much is left out. We have the schus of Ish v'Isha with Hashem's name between them. We have the Afar v'Efa of Ram Avinu, which translated into 2 mitzvahs, Afar Soita and Afar Para, and we have the mitzvahs of Tcheles and Tefillin, resulting again from Avram Avinu's integrity. Now, what do we write the Megillah on? What material do we use? You can't write it on a wooden plank, or on a paper, or unprocessed parchment. Megillah, you need proper parchment. Sefer is cloth. You can't use material made from tree sap to write the Megillah with. Nor some sort of sulfur ink. Nor anything that makes a mark and is difficult to scrape off and remove. Rather use proper ink. Use ink made of certain ingredients which make it stand out, tangible, which allows it to be scraped off properly. Shenamar umacha, which tells us it needs to be eksav. It needs to be letters shiachal lismachas, which can be easily scraped away. It has body. It has actual substance. It can be scraped off into the water. Amarav Megillah SOTAH shekasav balayla. If Megillah SOTAH was written at night, psula, it's no good. My time and why? Asya, we have Gzera Shava using the words Torah. Ksivach over here by the Megillah we have Asalah Akoyin es Kol Torah Azois. Uksivhasam elsewhere by monetary litigations we have Al Piyat Torah Sheyoyrucha Vala Mishpat. So we have the word Torah and we connect the 2 contexts. Ma Mishpat B'yom, just like the Dinei Mamres need to take place during daytime. We learned from Pasuk B'yom and Chilas Banav. Dinei Mamres are by day. Af Megillah SOTAH B'yom, likewise the writing of the Megillah SOTAH is a daytime activity. Kasva L'mafreya. Suppose he wrote it out of order. He writes a later word and then a previous word and then a previous word. Psula, it doesn't work. T'chsiv, it has to be done in order. Because Savesa always ha'ela. Ha'ela means as is, ki t'chsiva, in order. What about Kosva? The Kohen wrote it. Koydem shetikabel aleh shvua. Before she accepts upon herself this imposition, this shvua, commits herself to the process. Psula doesn't work. Why? Shenamar v'yishbia. First it says the Kohen imposes the shvua, commits her to the process. And then it says right. Kosva igeres. Suppose he wrote it like a letter without lining it before writing it. Psula doesn't work. The Sefer, Amar Achmona, Torah calls it a Sefer. It has to be written properly. And we know that a Sefer, like the mezuzah and everything else, has to be with a sirtut, with a lining process. It's a Lach Sinai. So that applies to the Megillah SOTAH as well. Kosval Shnei Dapen. Suppose he wrote it in 2 columns. Pesula doesn't work. Why? It needs to be 1 presentation. Sefer Echad, Amar Achmona. B'lo Shnayim or Shleisha Sfarim. Has to be 1 column. It can't appear like 2, 3 different texts. Kasav Ois Achas. Suppose he writes a letter, Umachak Ois Achas, and erases it. V'kasav Ois Achas proceeds to the next letter, Umachak Ois Achas, and erases it. So it was never there as 1. Psula doesn't work. T'chsiv Asalah HaKoyin as Kol HaTorah Azois. It's 1 inseparable unit. It needs to be written from beginning to end and then scraped off into the water. Okay, so in summation, we're proceeding with the writing of the Megillah, which is written by the Kohen. We have the psukim in Bamidbar Parakeh, starting from Yates all the way to Chav Beis. How much is written into the Megillah? We have 3 shitas, which are based on the pasuk V'kosav es ha'olos ha'ele ha'koyin b'sefer. According to Rameir, the word olos is olos mamish, the actual curses. The hay also includes the klolos derived from the brachos, so that's in the pasuk Yates and Chav. Ha'ele limute klolos b'mishnah Torah. The hay limute tzavois v'kabolis. You know, the instructive and the acceptance. Rabbi Yehuda says we include everything. The word es is mar by even the klolos habois machos brachos. According to Rabbi Yehuda, we're ma'it everything except for the olos mamish. We have ish v'isha zachu shchina b'neim. We have the mitzvahs that we got b'schus Avram Avinu, the Efer Parah, the Efer SOTAH, Chut Shel Tcheles, the Ritzur Shel Tefillin. The Megillah SOTAH needs to be written with diyai, which is a ksav sheyachal himachos, on a properly processed klaf. It needs to be done by yom in order, as opposed to l'mafreya. First, it comes the mashbia, then comes the ksiva, in one column, and all text, and then erasure. Haslach Rabbi B'suras Tevis, and all the best.